lot of organizations, they just relegate testing towards the end of the development cycle. If it's a more waterfall process, maybe towards the end of an entire project, or even if they're doing some sort of iterative process like Scrum, you hear of testers saying that they're not doing anything for much of the sprint. They only start working towards the end. Now, the testers discover a lot of issues that should have been addressed much earlier. What happens very often is the requirements themselves are flawed. They only discover that towards the end, when the increment or the release or the product is about to be deployed, which requires huge changes and which will introduce delays and cost overruns. There's a movement now, probably heard the movement of shift left. So when we apply shift left, testing has to be done from the very beginning when requirements are being elicited, when requirements are being analyzed. A tester needs to be there, needs to be part of the conversation with the actual business stakeholders. I myself have witnessed when testers are involved in the requirements elicitation, they bring up scenarios during the requirements elicitation, the requirements analysis, that neither the business stakeholder or the business analyst would have thought of. And it triggers a lot of discussions on more on the specifics or the finer points of the requirement. Or they might even discover that their initial definition of the requirement was wrong. I remember when, in one particular discussion, there were 3 managers from the organization that quickly agreed, okay, this is our process for the end of day process for a particular branch. And then the tester said, what if there's a customer that comes after the end of day process? Do we turn the customer away? Do we take the customer's money? If we take the money, how do we record the transaction? And all 3 managers had a different answer, and they started arguing in front of us for about half an hour. But that was good, because by the end of the half hour, they threshed out the requirement, unlike if we just took what they said and started building things. When we present the system, some of them might not be happy, or worse, if it goes to production and it's only then they discover the problems. So those situations where the testers thresh out requirements during the elicitation and analysis, they're very valuable. They save a lot of time, they save a lot of effort, they save a lot of rework, and of course that ends up saving a lot of money down the road. So testing, again, should be done from the very beginning. You should involve testers in the requirements elicitation and analysis.